Breaking news for everyone receiving Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or VA benefits. February 13th is just days away, and this date could directly impact when you receive your money this month and possibly beyond. If you're a senior citizen, a disabled American, a veteran, or someone who depends on these benefits to pay your bills, buy groceries, and keep your household running, you need to hear this right now. This isn't a rumor. This isn't speculation. This is official information that affects millions of Americans. And if you don't understand what's happening on February 13th, you could be caught off guard when your payment doesn't arrive when you expect it. Stay with me for the next few minutes because I'm going to break down exactly what's happening, who this affects, and most importantly, what you need to do to prepare. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is where we cut through the confusion and bring you clear, honest, and timely updates about Social Security, SSI, SSDI, VA benefits, and everything that impacts your financial security as a retiree, disabled individual, or veteran. My mission is simple: to make sure you never miss a payment, never get caught off guard by a schedule change, and always know what's coming so you can plan ahead and protect your income. Because let's be real, when you're living on a fixed income, every single dollar matters. You can't afford surprises, you can't afford to miss important updates, and you definitely can't afford to be left in the dark when the government makes changes to payment schedules. That's why this channel exists, to keep you informed, prepared, and in control. Now, before we dive into what's happening on February 13th, do me a favor. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on the notification bell, because these updates come fast, and if you're not subscribed, you might miss critical information that could affect your next payment. Subscribing takes 2 seconds, but it could save you hours of stress and confusion. So go ahead, subscribe now. I'll wait. All right, let's get into it. What's happening on February 13th? So what exactly is happening on February 13th, and why should you care? Here's the situation. February 13th is a scheduled payment date for certain Social Security recipients, and depending on which benefit you receive and when your birthday falls, this date could be critical for you. But here's where it gets more complicated, and this is what I need you to understand clearly. February 13th doesn't just affect one group of beneficiaries. It's part of a broader payment schedule that impacts Social Security retirement beneficiaries, SSI recipients, SSDI recipients, and even VA benefit recipients. And because February is a shorter month with only 28 days, the timing of payments this month creates a domino effect that you need to be aware of. Let me break this down step by step so there's no confusion. The Social Security payment schedule explained. First, let's talk about how Social Security payments are normally scheduled, because understanding the system is key to understanding what's different about February 13th. If you receive Social Security retirement or disability benefits, not SSI, but regular Social Security, your payment date is determined by your birth date. This is how the Social Security Administration has structured it. If you were born between the 1st and the 10th of any month, your payment arrives on the 2nd Wednesday of every month. If you were born between the 11th and the 20th, your payment arrives on the 3rd Wednesday. And if you were born between the 21st and the 31st, your payment arrives on the 4th Wednesday. This system was designed to spread out payments throughout the month so that the Social Security Administration isn't sending out every single check on the same day. It's been this way for years, and most people have gotten used to it. Now, here's where February 13th comes into play. February 13th, 2025 is the 2nd Wednesday of the month. That means if you were born between the 1st and the 10th of any month and you receive Social Security retirement or SSDI benefits, February 13th is your official payment date. But wait, there's more you need to know. SSI recipients and February 2025. If you receive Supplemental Security Income, also known as SSI, your payment schedule works differently. SSI payments are always sent on the first day of the month. Always. That's the rule. However, when the first of the month falls on a weekend or a federal holiday, the SSI payment gets moved forward to the last business day of the previous month. So here's what happened in February 2025. February 1st was a Saturday. That means SSI recipients actually received their February payment on January 31st, the last business day of January. Now you might be thinking, okay, so I already got my February SSI payment on January 31st. What does that have to do with February 13th? Here's what it means. If you're an SSI recipient, you are not getting another payment on February 13th. Your February payment already came. February 13th is specifically for Social Security retirement and SSDI beneficiaries born on certain dates. And this is where people get confused. Some SSI recipients see headlines about February 13th and think, wait, am I supposed to be getting money that day? And the answer is no, not if you only receive SSI. But if you receive both SSI and Social Security, what's called concurrent benefits, then you need to pay attention to both schedules. You got your SSI on January 31st, and if your birthday falls in the right range, you'll get your Social Security payment on February 13th. Are you starting to see how this can get confusing? Good, because I want to make sure you understand your exact situation. SSDI and February 13th. Now let's talk about Social Security Disability Insurance, or SSDI. If you receive SSDI, your payment schedule follows the same birthday-based system as Social Security retirement benefits. So if you were born between the 1st and the 10th, your SSDI payment is scheduled for February 13th. If you were born between the 11th and the 20th, your payment comes on the third Wednesday, which is February 19th. And if you were born between the 21st and the 31st, your payment comes on the fourth Wednesday, which is February 26th. But here's an important exception. If you've been receiving SSDI since before May 1997, you're on the old payment schedule, which means you get paid on the third day of every month, regardless of your birthday. So if that applies to you, you would have received your February SSDI payment on February 3rd, not on February 13th. This is critical. Don't assume your payment is coming on February 13th if you've been on SSDI since the 1990s. Check your history, know your schedule. VA benefits and February 13th. Now, what about veterans? If you receive VA disability compensation or pension benefits, here's what you need to know. The Department of Veterans Affairs typically sends payments on the first business day of the month. So for February 2025, most VA beneficiaries received their payment on February 3rd, which was the first business day of the month. However, and this is important, if you receive both VA benefits and Social Security, you're dealing with two separate payment schedules. Your VA payment likely came on February 3rd, and your Social Security payment comes according to your birth date schedule. So February 13th could still be relevant to you if you're a veteran who also receives Social Security and you were born in the first 10 days of the month. See how all these schedules overlap and interact? This is why so many people get confused and stressed out. They're dealing with multiple benefit programs, multiple payment dates, and very little clear communication from the agencies involved. Why February is always tricky. Here's the bigger picture you need to understand. February is always a challenging month for beneficiaries because it's the shortest month of the year. When you're budgeting on a fixed income, you plan around your payment dates. You know when the money is coming, and you plan your bills, your groceries, your medications, and everything else around that schedule. But in February, because there are only 28 days, the spacing between payments can feel tighter. If you got your SSI payment at the end of January and your next payment isn't until March 1st, that's a full month you have to stretch that money. If you're a Social Security recipient born late in the month and your payment doesn't come until February 26th, you're waiting almost the entire month for that money to arrive. And if you're someone who receives multiple benefits, SSI, Social Security, and VA, for example, you could have payments scattered throughout the month, and keeping track of it all can feel overwhelming. This is why February 13th matters. It's not just about that one date. It's about understanding your entire payment schedule for the month so you can budget accordingly and not be caught off guard. Real-world example. Let me give you a real-world example so this all makes sense. Meet Dorothy. She's 68 years old, a retired teacher, and she receives Social Security retirement benefits. Dorothy was born on February 7th, so her payment always arrives on the second Wednesday of the month. For February 2025, that means her payment is scheduled for February 13th. Dorothy also has a friend named James. James is a disabled veteran who receives both SSDI and VA benefits. James was born on March 18th, so his Social Security payment comes on the third Wednesday, February 19th. His VA payment already came on February 3rd. Now, Dorothy and James talk often, and Dorothy mentions that her payment is coming on February 13th. James gets confused. He thinks maybe he's supposed to get a payment that day too. He checks his bank account on February 13th, sees nothing, and starts to panic. Did something go wrong? Did he miss a payment? No. James just didn't realize that his payment schedule is different because of his birth date. This kind of confusion happens all the time, and it causes unnecessary stress. That's why I'm making this video, to prevent that stress and give you clarity. Alright, now that you understand what's happening on February 13th and how the payment schedules work, let me give you some critical advice on how to prepare and protect yourself. Know your schedule. First and most important, know your exact payment schedule. Don't guess. Don't assume. Don't rely on what your neighbor or friend tells you. Go to the Social Security Administration's website, ssa.gov, and log into your My Social Security account. If you don't have an account yet, create one. It's free, it's secure, and it gives you access to all your benefit information, including your exact payment dates. You can also call Social Security at 1-800-772-1213 if you need help verifying your payment schedule. Yes, the wait times can be long, but it's worth it to get accurate information. For VA benefits, log into va.gov or call 1-800-827-1000. Write down your payment dates for the entire year if you can. Put them on a calendar. Set reminders on your phone. Do whatever you need to do to keep track of when your money is coming. Budget for the full month second. Budget carefully for the full month. If your payment comes on February 13th, you need to make that money last until your next payment in March. For most Social Security recipients, your March payment will come according to the same schedule, second, third, or fourth Wednesday based on your birthday. But for SSI recipients, remember that March 1st is a Saturday, so your March SSI payment will likely come on February 28th, the last business day of February. That means you could potentially receive 2 payments in February if you're an SSI recipient, one at the beginning and one at the end. This is actually good news for SSI recipients, but it also means you need to plan ahead. When you get that February 28th payment, remember it's your March money. Don't spend it all at once thinking you'll get another payment in a few days. Watch out for scams. Third, and this is critical, watch out for scams. Whenever there's any kind of change or update to Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or VA payments, scammers come out of the woodwork. They send fake emails, make fake phone calls, and create fake websites designed to steal your personal information or your money. Here's what you need to remember. The Social Security Administration will never call you and ask for your Social Security number, your bank account information, or threaten to suspend your benefits unless you pay a fine. If someone calls you claiming to be from Social Security and says there's a problem with your payment or your benefits are being suspended, hang up. It's a scam. The same goes for emails. If you get an email claiming to be from Social Security, don't click any links. Go directly to ssa.gov yourself and log into your account. Scammers are getting more sophisticated, and they prey on seniors and vulnerable people. Don't let them steal your hard-earned benefits. Have a backup plan. Fourth, have a backup plan. Life happens. Direct deposits occasionally get delayed. Banks make mistakes. Systems go down. If your payment doesn't arrive on the expected date, don't panic immediately. Give it 24 hours. Sometimes there are processing delays, especially if the payment date falls close to a weekend or holiday. But if 24 hours pass and your payment still hasn't arrived, contact Social Security or the VA right away. Don't wait weeks to report a missing payment. Also, make sure your direct deposit information is up to date. If you've changed banks recently or closed an account, you need to notify Social Security immediately so your payments go to the right place. And if possible, try to have a small emergency fund set aside, even just $50 or $100 for those rare occasions when something goes wrong and you need to cover expenses while you wait for your payment to be sorted out. I know that's easier said than done when you're on a fixed income, but even a small cushion can provide enormous peace of mind. Listen, I know this information can feel overwhelming. Payment schedules, birth dates, SSI versus Social Security versus SSDI versus VA benefits, it's a lot to keep track of. But here's the truth. You don't have to figure this out alone. That's exactly why this channel exists. Every single week, I bring you updates, explanations, and clear guidance on everything related to your benefits. Whether it's payment schedule changes, COLA increases, new legislation, or warnings about scams, I'm here to keep you informed and protected because your benefits are your lifeline. They're how you pay your rent, buy your food, afford your medications, and maintain your independence. You've earned these benefits through years of hard work, and you deserve to understand exactly how they work and when you're getting paid. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that red subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. And if this video helped you understand what's happening on February 13th and how to prepare for it, do me a favor and give it a thumbs up. It helps the YouTube algorithm show this video to more people who need this information. Also, drop a comment below and let me know. What benefit do you receive, and when is your payment date? Are you prepared for February 13th? Let's build a community where we support each other and share information. Because when we stay informed together, we stay protected together. All right, let's wrap this up with a quick summary so you can walk away with total clarity. February 13th, 2025 is the second Wednesday of the month, and it's a scheduled payment date for Social Security retirement and SSDI beneficiaries who were born between the 1st and the 10th of any month. If you receive SSI, your February payment already came on January 31st because February 1st was a weekend. You will not receive another SSI payment on February 13th. If you receive VA benefits, your payment likely came on February 3rd. And if you receive multiple benefits, you need to track each one separately because they all follow different schedules. The most important thing you can do right now is log into your account, verify your payment dates, and budget accordingly. Don't rely on assumptions. Don't rely on rumors. Get the facts directly from the source. And remember, February is a short month, so your money needs to stretch. Plan ahead. Be smart. Be prepared. If you do those things, you'll get through February without any surprises or stress. I'm here to help you every step of the way, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any future updates. Thank you so much for watching. Stay informed, stay prepared, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourself.